Do you like that fight?
Not really. I don't think it's. I don't see. But, it could be exciting. Good money fight, definitely.
To be honest, he'll fight anybody. He's not fighting like he used to. I give him all the props in the world. He's a great fighter. He's really hard to beat. But I'm just telling you, as a fan, I think he can be doing more.
Devin's Devin. He's fast. He's strong. He has that will to win. I mean, you saw in Ryan's fight with Devin. Devin got back up the canvas. I mean, he's got a big heart, a lion's heart. So you have to give it up to him.
Boxing professionals are voicing serious concerns over Shakur Stevenson's potential matchup with Devin Haney at a 144-pound catchweight, and their warning stems from one core issue. That specific limit has the power to completely alter the dynamics of the fight.
The best. I put the best situation. I said 47. Dev, you the champ. You the champ. Everybody kept whooping and talking and all this, and I was hearing them. And no, we believe that we better than them. You know what I'm saying? That's what we believe. All that other we know that they're about the same size and all the other. Shaki just said that. Everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying? So with Debo, he said he ready to do it. He don't care nothing about none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm going to whip his ass.
Bill Haney has openly stated that while his son is prepared to accept the 144-pound limit, he personally believes it's far from the ideal approach. In Bill's assessment, Devin already holds a crown at 147 pounds, so dropping down only hands Shakur greater leverage in negotiations. That's precisely why his comments came across less as enthusiasm and more as a cautionary note. Devin might be eager to prove himself and chase the challenge, but those closest to him recognize that agreeing to 144 could tilt the scales unfairly long before either fighter steps into the ring.
Don't even try to make them understand that it ain't nothing. It wasn't nothing in the beginning, but at the same time, by right, if you're a champion and you're 147, you're supposed to be able to do it. It's not going to make sense. For Debo to do it, to agree to do it, it just doesn't even make any sense. It's no difference. It's no nothing big. It's 144 list.
At this point, Bill Haney's message is beginning to come across more like a direct caution aimed at Shakur Stevenson. Essentially, he's telling Shakur to think twice about pushing for something he might regret. Since Devin already holds champion status at 147 pounds, if Shakur insists on 144 and Devin still shows up to accept those terms, the spotlight and expectation instantly turn back on Shakur. On the surface, requesting 144 might seem like Shakur is dictating the conditions, but once Devin agrees, Shakur can no longer fall back on claims that Devin is too large or using weight as a shield. Bill is making it crystal clear that his son is ready to fight under any circumstances, and that very willingness could place Shakur in a tricky spot. After all, if Devin says yes to 144 without hesitation, fans and media may begin questioning why Shakur continues to demand extra allowances. So this goes far beyond the number on the scale now. It's become a matter of control, public perception, and proving who truly wants the bout more.
He worked. He's the champion. We worked at 147. It should be there. That's fair. This other shit is full. But whatever. Debo done said he gonna do it. It's not something that I would. No. I would say it's wrong. And it's unfair.
I could tell the businessman and Bill is like, nah, Dev, don't do that. And Dev is like, F that, give me that.
No, he said, that's what I'm saying. And I've always respected, just like when he went to Australia, when they told him that I couldn't go out there, and I seen him become 100% the man that I respect now, because he said, Dad, I'm about to go get these straps, I'm going to bring them back home. No different, I respect as a man, that's who he is, right? And I'm saying this, but if I was putting the deal on the table and I was telling him and advising him to do this, what kind of manager would I be? That's why Jay said, Bill, you smart. That's why Jay said that. He said, man, I know Bill's smart. That's why I'm not taking credit for that. I'm not taking credit.
Tim Bradley has reinforced his stance that Shakur Stevenson would likely need roughly 12 months to properly adapt to the welterweight class. According to Bradley, Shakur possesses the physical build, work ethic, and ring intelligence to make that transition smoothly, provided he genuinely wants to pursue those high-profile matchups. This perspective only intensifies the ongoing discussion surrounding Devin Haney. especially since Shakur has maintained that 147 isn't the right fit for him at this stage. While many observers are starting to wonder how much longer that reasoning will hold up, Bradley isn't suggesting Shakur needs to make an immediate leap. Instead, he's pointing out that Shakur shouldn't pretend moving up to welterweight is out of reach. With a year dedicated to conditioning his frame appropriately, Bradley is confident Shakur could be fully prepared for that weight class and eventually face Haney under much fairer circumstances.
Gonna get whooped. Let us see it then. Let us see it. O'Shaquie got skills. He got self-belief. He's similar in size. He could have went up to 135 pounds. He could have went up to 140. Yeah, yesterday. He's a 14-year vet. Yes. He can do that. He's just champion in one weight class. He move up. But that's the fight that we really want to see you fight, Shakur. Oh, we would love to see you fight Haney. Oh, yeah, we would love to see you fight Haney, but we would love to see you, or I would love to see you fight Haney at 147 pounds. That's it. 147 pounds. Might take you 1 year. Summertime or late 2027, the Haney fight can be made. Fans are looking at your weight, Shakur. They looking at your weight. They looking at you and you're saying, man, well, you big, Shakur. You 100, look like you 165 pounds, man. What's the problem? The problem is you're not going to be sharp at 147 pounds. Not right now. We know you sharp at 140, but 147, that's a tough tackle. But yeah, ducking fights. That's the whole Shakur thing that I'm talking about with Canelo Alvarez. Ducking fights. You know, there's a lot of guys ducking. Hitchens, another guy, ran away from Duarte. Yeah. Perfect opportunity for him. Pulled out the fight because he didn't believe that he can beat Duarte. And then, you know, he had the Zuffa deal.
Chris Algieri has weighed in on the weight arrangement between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, viewing it as a significant breakthrough in turning this matchup into a reality after all the back and forth regarding 147, the 144 catchweight, and which fighter ought to move where. For Algieri, the fact that both camps have finally aligned on a single number gives fans genuine reason for optimism. A contest at 144 pounds makes practical sense since it falls right in the middle. Shakur would be climbing up while Devin would be trimming down slightly, meaning each competitor would have to give up something. Nevertheless, even with the weight issue appearing closer to resolution, the bout remains far from official until all the business aspects are sorted out. Financial terms, the event date, promotional efforts, and contractual fine print all still need to be finalized. That said, this development has brought Haney versus Stevenson nearer to happening than it has ever been before.
It's only fair that we meet the 144. We are two champions in two different weight classes. He cited Floyd and Canelo, their catch weight of 150 pounds, the 2013 fight. He said, Haney, you fought at 144 just 2 fights ago against Jose Ramirez. So that was some really good points. Yep. Haney retweets it, go back and forth. Shakur says, so if I go for 140, no, I think Haney said it. Yeah, Haney said 144, we have a fight. Shakur says yes. I think that was the biggest obstacle.
Is that for the welterweight title? Would that be for Devin's welterweight title?
Yeah.
Following their recent back and forth on social media, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney have come to terms on a 144-pound catchweight, and that single post has reignited interest in their potential showdown. After weeks of debate among fans regarding weight classes, catchweight limits, and which fighter was stalling the process, both men aligning on 144 has brought the bout much closer to reality. Devin put the question directly to Shakur. If he dropped to 144, would that seal the deal? Shakur responded affirmatively, giving supporters genuine hope that this extends beyond mere online chatter. Nothing has been formally signed yet, but if both camps truly commit to that figure, the focus now turns to the actual business discussions. Still, amid the optimism, plenty of uncertainty lingers around the specifics. One fan raised a crucial point, asking whether Devin Haney simply needs to hit 144 at the weigh-in, or if Shakur is also demanding a rehydration clause that would restrict how much weight Devin can regain before stepping into the ring. That distinction is massive. There's a world of difference between making weight on the scale and being capped on how much you can put back on afterward. Until both sides clarify the complete terms, questions will persist about whether this is a genuinely fair catchweight or yet another obstacle that could derail finalization. Another observer offered a different perspective, suggesting that Devin agreeing to 144 has actually placed Shakur in a tougher spot. Now, if Shakur proceeds with the fight, he may feel the weight of expectations, but if he backs away, it could be interpreted as avoidance. Essentially, by publicly accepting the 144-pound proposal, Devin may have shifted the pressure squarely onto Shakur's shoulders, removing weight as a convenient excuse. This also brings Keyshawn Davis into the conversation, given his connection to Shakur and the fact that he's been floated as another potential opponent for Devin. So the situation grows increasingly complex from every direction. If Shakur gets exactly what he asked for, the public will anticipate him following through. If Keyshawn becomes part of the discussion, it only intensifies the scrutiny. And that's precisely why Shakur's recent remarks during his conversation with Andre Ward carry so much weight. Shakur made it plain that he has no issue sitting down with Team Haney to work things out properly. After all the social media posts, weight speculation, and accusations flying back and forth, Shakur is now emphasizing that serious negotiations ought to happen behind closed doors rather than through public arguments.
This, that, and I'm gonna get there when I get there.
Man, that's a big fight for the sport of boxing.
Let's do it.
It's a whole lot of money on the table. And you know, I had Bill on the show, I think in January. Bill said, you on the list. I said, Bill, what list? He said, the list. You ain't know he was on the list?
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a list. At least I knew he had a list, but I didn't know your name was on the list.
Yeah.
Then he went from saying you was on the list to, you know, saying you was easy work.
Yeah.
Shakur is easy work for Devin.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Are you easy work for anybody?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Honestly, I was listening to it and I watched it. I seen the things he was saying, like, oh, we gonna walk him down and all of these things. So, I mean, all of it sounds good, but like deep down inside, Bill know. Like he know. He know who I am.
Y'all got history.
He know.
Yeah.
I was probably one of Bill's favorite fighters coming up. Like he can say whatever he want. Cameras out right now. This could go somewhere.
He acknowledged Bill Haney's efforts in representing Devin, yet made it equally clear that if this matchup is genuine, then proper discussions must take place through the appropriate channels. From Shakur's perspective, he's open to meeting with Bill, Devin, and Jay Prince to establish reasonable conditions and turn the bout into a tangible reality. That shifts the entire dynamic of the situation because Shakur no longer comes across as someone avoiding the challenge. He's presenting himself as a fighter who wants the negotiations conducted the right way.
Bill for what he do for his son. I don't mind sitting at a real table, me and you, Devin, Jay, and we could sit there and negotiate and find what's right for the fight to happen. Let's do it. We all businessmen. We all could handle our own at the business table. So that's how I look at it. Like I see Devin Haney as a hell of a fighter. I see Bill as a hell of a businessman. But if y'all really about y'all business and that's what y'all want, let's make it happen.
Jay and Bill, they was on $1 million worth of game.
Yeah.
Jay, they called Jay on the phone, and it wasn't a negotiation, but they started talking about the weight.
Yeah.
And that's what I think Jay had mentioned, 144. Bill was like, Dev is the best fighter at 147. In other words, we're not interested in going down. What is stopping for y'all to get into a real negotiation?
I don't know what's stopping it. I mean, if they serious and it's that, they shouldn't even have to go. We don't got to go through $1 million. No disrespect to Gilly.
Yeah. But that just happened. That wasn't a real year.
We got each other's number. Well, I don't have Devin, but Bill and Jay got each other's number. We could set this up and it could be that. But once again, this is how I look at it. If they not saying right now, let's fight, then I'm going to grow. Like I'm still growing. I'm still getting bigger, and I don't see Devin getting past 147 pounds. I don't see him going to 154. He could say whatever it is, but like I don't see him getting in the ring with no boots. Like I don't see that. So if that's the case,
Not everyone is on board with the bout taking place at 144 pounds. Okoye offered firm opinion on the Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson matchup being negotiated at that catchweight, and he didn't hide his disapproval. From his perspective, both men are world-class talents operating at the peak of their abilities, and a showdown of this magnitude shouldn't leave room for any post-fight excuses. According to him, the issue goes beyond simply debating whether 144 is a just or unjust limit.
Even as Shakur, you don't want any question after you beat him. You want it to be like you beat a prime Dev at a weight that both of you were comfortable at. And as long as it's, long as blood tests and, you know what I mean, all the PED shit, yeah, cool. You want to do VADA testing, I don't got no problem with nobody saying that. But weight, when you playing with the weight, I mean, especially a guy like Shakur not little, like you balloon up a little bit too. So why are we doing catch weights? You know what I'm saying? So no catch weight, no need for a catch weight. Either fight him at 47 or don't fight him.
I understand. I agree both ways. I understand why Shakur would want one.
The fundamental concern, as he sees it, is that spectators will inevitably cast doubt on the outcome if either competitor appears weakened or compromised when they step through the ropes. In his view, Shakur ought to want a victory over Devin that comes without any caveats, and Devin shouldn't have to show up in a diminished state just to make the bout materialize. That's precisely why he argues the contest should either take place at 147 pounds or be called off entirely, because a clash between two talents of this caliber demands both athletes operating at full capacity.
Shouldn't be at 144 because I look at it like two fighters that's supposed to be at an elite level in their prime. I don't want either one of them diminished. I don't think going up 4 pounds or 3 pounds for Shakur diminishes him, but you're asking for the catch weight because you're trying to diminish Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already adjusted to being 47. So I don't like catch weights at that level of the game because of who they both are. If it was an older guy fighting a young guy that like a Lomachenko's fighting a guy that wants his belt and, you bringing him down to a weight, I understand that, especially if you're the naturally smaller guy and you older and it's not like you're not at your prime. I kind of understand catch weights. Or if I want to see a fight and these guys are not both on the same level, I understand that, right? Having a guy like Shakur who you're going to have to be, A+ ready in order to step in the ring. You're going to have your A game. I don't want to see either one of them diminish before fighting each other because I think you're always going to have that question. And it's not about fairness. It's about the question that is going to lead.
Mickey Bay has also weighed in on Devin Haney's willingness to face Shakur Stevenson at 144 pounds. And his perspective adds another dimension to the ongoing weight discussion. From Mickey's standpoint, a matchup of this magnitude goes beyond just the figure displayed on the scale. It ultimately comes down to whether both competitors are at ease enough to deliver their best performance. Devin stepping forward and agreeing to drop to 144 turns up the heat on Shakur, since the catch weight he previously mentioned is now being treated as a genuine proposal. However, questions still linger regarding any potential rehydration clauses that might be attached. That specific element could determine whether this arrangement is viewed as a reasonable compromise or simply another hurdle complicating the negotiation process. If the bout moves forward at 144 with straightforward terms, fans might be willing to accept it. But should additional conditions be introduced, the controversy surrounding the weight will only intensify further.
And, people just loving the way he's moving right now. You know what I mean? He's even giving back and saying, yo, listen, man, I'll go to 44. And I feel like a lot of people were saying that did Haney just call Shakur's bluff right now? What do you think about that?
He want to fight him, he want to show he the best. So it ain't no better person he could beat than beating the best, which outside of Devin is Shakur. Like, that's something that it ain't even really debatable. Okay, nobody really debate and go against that. So to beat him is just going to pretty much it's going to catapult. But again, it should be number one pound for pound. That should be it should already be with the Ring magazine. That should be the promotion to where they you knew it would fight, but they never had to say it. But I'm saying that should be what's up on the line. The winner's number one pound for pound. This slot is open.
No, I like it.
The slot, and I'm sure Usyk could probably agree with. To me, number one now, because the longevity and resume. I'm sure he agreed to that.
Plays out like how the sparring did.
Nah, I don't think so. It's gonna be competitive, but they both the top dogs, so I think it's gonna be different. They men now, it ain't amateur, it ain't headgear. The gloves smaller, and there's way more at stake. Like this, neither one of them want to lose a zero. They would both want to get that number one pound for pound spot. So yeah, I think it'd be different. It'd be, they box, they both got their styles and everything, but it'd be different though.
People say that Keyshawn has nothing to lose in this fight, and Devin Haney has everything to lose in this fight when it comes down to fighting Keyshawn Davis.
Greg Hackett has also offered his take on a Devin Haney Shakur Stevenson clash at 144 pounds, characterizing it as one of the most intriguing bouts boxing could put together at this moment. At that catch weight, each man would enter the ring with something significant to demonstrate. Devin would have the chance to prove he can drop down slightly while still effectively utilizing his frame, reach advantage, and superior in-ring awareness.
Who you favor, G? Who I favor? Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I love that fight. And I'm slightly Devin Haney from watching the sparring, because it's things I've seen that was giving Shakur a little trouble. But at the same time, I can't do that, man. I gotta go 50-50, bro. I can't do that, bro. I can't just pick. It's too tough to pick. I respect both of them on a different level, man, when it comes to this boxing.
Meanwhile, Shakur would have the opportunity to demonstrate that he can step up in weight and still neutralize a larger, elite-level opponent through defensive prowess, precise timing, and sharp accuracy. That contrasting dynamic is what makes this matchup so compelling. It's not merely about brute force or applying pressure, but rather about who can process the action more quickly under the bright lights, who can make sharper in-fight adjustments, and who maintains composure when their opponent begins neutralizing their go-to tools. Greg's assessment reinforces the notion that if Haney and Shakur actually square off at 144, spectators could be in for a true tactical battle between two unbeaten masters of the sport. Devin would need to demonstrate that the weight cut hasn't compromised his abilities, while Shakur would have to prove he can handle a physically larger adversary at the highest level of competition. And that's precisely why this potential showdown has generated such widespread discussion. The 144-pound figure may have initially sparked disagreement, but it could ultimately end up being the number that finally brings Haney and Shakur together in the ring.
He was giving Shakur some trouble with that. Shakur was there, but it was like, you little motherfucker, I catch you. You know what I'm saying? That fight is, and that fight actually is going to be fought at a high pace, man. I don't see that being just no pick 'em apart show. I can see that fight really being fought at a high pace. And I have said before that I think Dev edges it. But I'm gonna also be fair, man. I respect both of them too much to really pick. Shakur is moving up. I mean, if Shakur do go up 44 to fighting, a lot of respect for Shakur. Shakur just fought at 40 for the first time versus Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So for him to jump up again, even though it's not fully at welterweight, but it is welterweight. Once you over 140 pounds, you consider it a welterweight. So, wow. I don't know. I'm just excited. I hope we can really make something happen with that. I hope we can really make something happen. You see Shakur in the ring and get shot. A 47-pounder. I believe that too. I do believe that, but you gotta always leave room for the fact that Shakur did turn pro at 126 pounds. You know what I mean? He did fight at 30, 35, and 40. Moved up. Dev, started his career at 130.
Be sure to watch our additional content covering the